up, everybody? What's up? Happy Sunday. Yes, it's Sunday. It's a long weekend, and I am here with you now. Where are you now? Because I am right here. I've been trying to get the live chat view working, but it just doesn't want to seem to do it on screen. It just keeps giving me error messages. I got to figure that out. Maybe test that out one of these days with a couple of you guys and go at it from there. So I'm hyped. As you can see, let me kill the music. I'm pretty hyped, guys. I'm pretty hyped. I'm feeling some kind of way. This is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Things have been going so good all day. Up early, coached the grandson's football team, had my show ready and on time, and the Giants won. My grandson's team won. You gotta love this stuff. This is what Sundays are made for. Now I get to jump online, holla at you guys for just a little bit, talk about the latest show from Marvel that I watched on Disney Plus, and sip on my adult beverage and enjoy the rest of my evening because I get to sleep in tomorrow. Yes, I do. So before we even get started, let's go ahead, drop the shameless plug, and then we'll get to talking about Werewolf by Night. Oh, God. Oh, shameless plug time. What's up, everybody? It's shameless plug time. So thanks for checking out the podcast, Going Full Nerd. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe everywhere possible. So look for Going Full Nerd on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, goingfullnerd.com, and my Twitter handle, ONYXXX1969. You can also listen to the audio version on its home, Anchor.fm, but also on Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you consume your podcast listening pleasure. Hey guys, let's get on with the show. And getting on with the show is what we're going to do. What's up, everybody? Just popping up. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, the Jets won too. I'll share some New York love with the Jets. I will share that with the Jets. What's happening, everybody? What's popping? And we're going to just talk a little bit about a few things. Now, normally, this is a holiday weekend. You know, old school, they used to call it Columbus Day, but we're in the land of let's make things politically correct. Plus, Columbus really didn't discover shit. So, pardon my language. So, happy Indigenous Peoples Day. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get it right the first time, right? Now, let's go on. Now, normally, this weekend, I would be talking horrendously bad about the comic book convention producer, Reed Pop. You know, I would normally be talking horrendously bad about them. For my people in New York that are used to seeing me on this Indigenous people, or for you old school people who won't change, Columbus Day weekend, I would normally be in New York at New York Comic Con with press credentials doing my thing, right? Well, wrong. For the past few years, I haven't grown enough for them. And they said, well, we don't care you supported us for like 5 years and we gave you press passes for 5 years when we were struggling our identity. So, it is what it is. But that's okay. That is okay. Because I'm still going to talk about New York Comic Con and the things that they announced then, but I just won't do it tonight. I'm going to do it in a series of short videos based upon the stuff that I'm getting sent from the publishers themselves. So instead of saying, hey, we're going to have a great New York Comic Con, we're going to have a great Going Full Nerd Comic Con virtually right here. No cosplay, none of that, but I will give some announcements throughout the week of things that came up. You may have heard them already, or you may hear them. It's all good. Okay, so let's talk about it. We're going to get to what we're going to talk about. Just remember, we went live this week and we were talking about, boom, Werewolf by Night. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not a full moon. This right here it's something special. It's a Marvel special. Let's go ahead and say it's a Marvel special. And the reason why I'm going to say it's a Marvel special, because this is basically, and I'm going to say it, this is Marvel giving a big FU. And I'm not talking about the FU and fun, because this actual show, from your boy Onyx's opinion, was fun, but they're giving a FU to Warner Brothers and Universal on this. I'm just saying. This is so retro throwback. It's ridiculous. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be really upset with this one. Really upset, because honestly, let's talk about it. There's a lot of casual comic book fans out there. There's a lot of casual comic book fans that don't know where this stuff came from. Now, when they had first announced Werewolf by Night, it was announced and it was told it was going to be a Halloween special. Well, Marvel's, excuse me, that's the adult beverage. But here's the deal, right? Marvel said, listen, guys, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to play this. We're going to tell them it's a Halloween special. We're going to tell them it's a special presentation, and then we're just going to whip it out on them. We're going to whip out Werewolf by Night. And oh, by the way, what we're going to have in Werewolf by Night, for those of you who get the joke, they're going to have a giant-sized man thing in it. In other words, these guys said, you know what, I'm going to whip out my giant-sized man thing early. That sounds like how I used to be when I was in my 20s and going to the clubs. And, hey, girl, I'm going to go out my giant-sized man thing. Okay, I'm sorry. I forgot this is a kid's show. It's Sunday. I'm sorry. Well, it's not necessarily a kid's show, but it's me rambling on. It is what it is. I don't know. We can't blame it on the adult beverage because I only took 2 sips before the show started. It is what it is. But anyway, so Werewolf by Night, okay? Now, here's the thing. Everybody got caught off guard by it because it was announced and it was like, boom, we're going to throw this out here. Now, this is it's a venture into Marvel's horror. Now, for those of you that grew up like I did, don't let the platinum locks fool you. But the thing is, I never really was into, and I'm going to be honest with you, I couldn't stand Marvel horror comics back in the 70s, 80s. Okay, because that's when these things were really prevalent. I mean, little anecdotal tidbit. Marvel used to own the rights to the word zombie. Look it up. Trust me on this one. Now, here's the thing. They had a lot of characters, a lot of monsters inside of the Marvel universe. And I'm not saying Marvel Cinematic. I'm saying Marvel universe, comic book wise. So I'm going to just throw out there. They took a real unique approach in making this particular thing. Now, here's the problem. I'm not going to call it a problem. Here's the thing that should surprise a lot of people. This, okay, has been one of the most well received by the critics and by the audience of any Marvel Disney Plus show. Let me read some numbers to you. This is for the people who miss me calling out the top 5. This is showing you where Werewolf by Night sits. I'm not calling this in particular order, but I'm going to call out some percentages. Okay, here it goes. Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan. It had a 97% positive by the critics, 80% by the audience. Okay. What if 94% positive by the critics, 93% positive by the audience? Okay, we getting there. Werewolf by Night, 92% positive by critics, 94% positive by audience. We are the highest at this point. Then you had things like Loki, 92% by the critics, 90 by the audience. WandaVision, 91 by the critics, 88% by the audience. She-Hulk, 87% by the critics, 36% by the audience. We're going to talk about She-Hulk once the season finale goes, and I'm going to talk to you guys because you guys are the audience. Then you had Moon Knight, which was 86% by critics, 90% by the audience. And lastly, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, 84% critics and 83% audience. A 94% puts it above everything that I've mentioned on that list. This includes What If. Let me say again, this includes What If. And people loved What If. Let's keep it right. So here's the thing. Some of this is a little bit twisted because some of the stuff like She-Hulk's, their 36% is from review bombing because there are some people that just can't adapt. And that's fine. I'm good with that. All right. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. Let's go through here. All right. Now, it's a homage. It's a homage to the old school CBS specials because if you look at the audit, how it starts, it reminds you of the old CBS special presentations, the 1970s look when it came to the intro titles. They even did a real cool thing, changing the Marvel titles, started with the screen, showing the 4 claw marks, okay, not 3, that's Wolverine, 4 claw marks right there as the highs hit with the music, and then you had it, and it flashed over into black and white. Now, a lot of people weren't feeling the black and white. A lot of people don't do that, but it didn't take away. This actually enhanced it. And then you saw a couple of other little things, like the only splash of color throughout the whole thing was the Bloodstone, and that is until you got to the very end. The 1920s music, the way everything was done, the old retro look. This was all done on purpose. It fit for the homage. It fit for the era. But it was very, very, very important that it did a few different things. And these are things that the untrained eye or the non-super nerd, like all of us in this room, or those who want to learn to become a super nerd, okay, someone like myself, they pretty much been going this route for a minute now. And going this route started in the movie theater with Doctor Strange. If you think about it, Doctor Strange, science doesn't describe magic. Doctor Strange, once you announce Doctor Strange and you brought magic into the MCU, then you've opened up the door. You've opened up the door for magic users, mythical creatures, alternate dimensions, alternate planes of reality. Notice where I'm going with this, folks. If you are a fan, super fan, you know this. All right, so we go in there. Then you say, well, if you're going to have all that, hey, vampires, werewolves, oh yeah, zombies. Oh yeah, we've seen Marvel Zombies. We saw them in What If. So we're seeing all these things. We're seeing these things come to fruition. So these things had to have been going on in the Marvel Universe, even though Iron Man, I Am Iron Man, was the first superhero that we really started getting into back when the movie first came out. Now, the multiverse bringing those things in. Yes, guys. You guys are understanding. You're getting this. So, what does Werewolf by Night give us? Well, they gave us a couple of great things. First of all, they gave us a lead-in where we can see the clues, see the hints for the upcoming Blade. Yes, they had vampires all over the thing. All over the thing. Okay. Now, here's the deal. All right. Then the next thing you got, all right. The next thing you got, they started showing all these different things. Now, Man Thing is a special character. And I'm going to talk to you guys about the giant size Man Thing. I've been looking at the comments and things, and I'm a key in on a couple of comments that I've seen, and I'm going to call you out. Okay, here's the deal. I get what you're saying about keeping the young audience engaged about black and white versus color, and how younger kids may refuse, or younger people may refuse to watch anything in black and white. But what you got to understand, these are the things that it broadens their scope. It broadens their horizons. We just can't do that all the time. If we get stuck in these, you know, tropes of we got to make it all modern for the modern kids, then we're never going. You can't embrace the long-standing history of the source material that this stuff came from. You start and you evolve. That is one of the things that shows great storytelling. Now, I'm going to go here and say, I'm going to put it out there, and I'm going to say it. The producer, director, well, Kevin Feige is ultimately it. But here's the deal. You know, I got my notes. Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit. Where's my man at? The director of this was I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got to get my notes because, you know, me, Michael Giacchino. Okay, Michael Giacchino. Giacchino. Yo, please don't tell him I jacked up his name. But here's the thing. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Be wary and look for the great things coming. Because here goes the thing. They just hired this dude for a one shot. So he just said, you know what? I'm going to make this as an homage. We're going to go throw back. We're going to pull in the old audience and everything. Please remember, the MonsterVerse of the MCU, or not the MCU, of Marvel Comics, never did very well. Never, in my opinion. Okay? Keep it real. Dracula, the comic books, Tomb of Dracula, Man Thing, original Man Thing comic book, okay? Werewolf by Night, all that, those used to live in the 50-cent dollar bins. Some of them still do until after all this shows. All right? Now, also touching these things. So let's talk about the characters that they brought in and the characters that they show. Obviously, we didn't stick with all the source material because, you know, there were some liberties taken with the Bloodstone character, Ulysses Bloodstone. You know, in the comic book, you know, he was the big, broad-chested, with the gem in the middle of his chest, low flowing blonde hair, you know, looking like he should be on the front cover of a romance novel. This should tell you Ulysses Bloodstone. But they brought in the daughter, Elsa Bloodstone, who has a more prominent role in comic books today, which is great, which is good. They also did a few more things, and they had liberties. I'm not, hey, I see your comments, guys. They took some liberties with the characters, but I think these are not liberties where it's saying, well, we're not going to do this. What I think this is we go back to my two favorite words when it comes to Disney Plus: world building. Say it again with me. Everybody say it with me. World building. Yes, world building. And the reason why I say world building is because Man Thing wasn't really created as the guardian of the nexus of all realities late into after his creation. They did stick, if you listen, they did stick with his traditional origin a little bit. And they at least called him by his name, Ted. Now with Man Thing, here goes the thing. Man Thing was a scientist working on a bootleg super soldier serum when in the comic book it was AIM, and we know MCU AIM is not all that. So in MCU, it could be Roxxon, it could be Hydra, who knows? But he found out they were getting ready to do bad things with this formula. He took it He tried to get it away from him. He got doused in it. He died in a swamp. He was imbued with the power from the swamp, mixed with the super soldier serum, and turned into a giant-sized man-thing. And I like saying that because that's the name of his comic book in the past. So I think that's good. All right. In addition, the Nexus of All Reality stuff, we've got to get through the multiverse saga with Kang, I think, before we can get to the point where Man-Thing becomes the guardian of the Nexus of All Realities. I think that would be a great thing to bring up in the next Doctor Strange film, once you get past all this Avengers stuff, if they have a third Doctor Strange film, which I'm hoping they will, because, you know, why you gonna leave me hanging in Multiverse of Madness with him hooking up with Clea third eye showing? You know what I mean? But it is what it is. But this is, just like you guys are saying in the chat, it is bringing in more adult-related Marvel storylines. If you take a look at the violence that happened inside this special presentation, it is very, very, very uncharacteristic of the previous Marvel films you may have seen, with axes being buried in heads, spikes going through throats, and people losing arms, and fear burning at the hands of the Man-Thing. All right? Just saying. Just saying. Now, when you talk Man-Thing and Swamp Thing, who did come out first? That's the one thing that I can't remember. I might have to take a look. We're going to have to go to the notes. Man-Thing or Swamp Thing, who did it better? Something's making me think that Swamp Thing came first, but Man-Thing did it better. Who came first? Let me see something. Who came first, the chicken or the egg? Who came first? Swamp Thing. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Actually, Man-Thing. Man-Thing was created first. Man-Thing was published and released, very first debut in Savage Tales #1 of May 1971. While Swamp Thing debuted in House of Secrets #92, which came out in July of 1971. Boom, there you go. There's your answer. Man-Thing did it first. Now, Swamp Thing had a movie. If for those of you who remember the 80s, Adrian Barbeau. Yeah, you old people. Look that up on Google for you young folks. Adrian Barbeau, Swamp Thing. Look that up. But it is what it is. So, so it is what it is. No, it's not Swamp Thing, Omar. Man-Thing came first. You always had a giant-sized Man-Thing showed up before. No. It is what it is. But they both were released in 1971. Things I'm actually looking forward to now that all this is done. We've established vampires. Werewolf by Night has done that. That gives us the basis for Blade. Let's be honest. We got the Darkhold. That, that showed up inside Multiverse of Madness. That's also connected. Now we have good old Man-Thing showing up. So once all this clears out with the multiverse saga, we can have a Nexus of All Realities, and Man-Thing can be the guardian of that Nexus. Remember, we also have Howard the Duck, because Howard the Duck always used to show up in Man-Thing comics. I'm just saying. Just saying. That's all I'm saying. And yes, Omar, yes. And I'm going to say Midnight Suns. And I think Marvel's really pushing for Midnight Suns. Why? Because they got a video game called Midnight Suns coming out. Okay. It's going to be on all gaming systems, Xbox, PS, PlayStation. It is what it is. That's going to end up, it looks good. I'd love to get it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to figure it out and we're going to see. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. But back to Werewolf by Night. I'm going to be honest with you. I really liked it. I'm going to tell you. The reason why I liked it more so is even though it had some humor, it was actually light on the humor, very good on the action. It wasn't overly gory. Werewolf by Night did have some shortcomings, and I think some of the shortcomings were, I'll be honest, the actor that played Werewolf by Night wasn't immediately recognizable to me. I'll be honest, maybe I'm just a little bit getting old, or maybe I'm just not paying as much attention as I like to pay attention. But when I saw Old Boy, I was like, damn, he looked like Oscar Isaac. Damn, he looked like Moon Knight, and that's just how I was feeling. But, it is what it is. Thomas, I know you're a real life Spider-Man, but I'm gonna need you to be careful, all right? I'm gonna need you to be careful. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But the thing, it is going to work out. This stuff is actually good. And as you can see towards the end, not spoiling it for a lot of people who may not have watched the one shot, it's only 54 minutes. Take your time out your day, turn on Disney Plus, check it out. But here's the thing. Once it colorizes, it's going to colorize, it's going to bring it out because the show is in present day, even though it feels with a 1920s, 1930s aesthetic. It is in present day. And with that show being in present day, you can see as we'll move forward all these different things that come into play inside the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, once this multiverse saga kicks in and is good, what I think is going to actually end up happening is we are going to have a lot of standalone stories reminiscent of comic books. And that's going to be good because not every movie, not every show is going to be all connected. Remember, Marvel did drop that line a long time ago when they were going, oh, it's all connected, it's all connected. Well, they've done that. Now you've got a core set of stories that I think after this phase 5, phase 6, I think they're going to go away from that and just do some one-off stories, self-contained, utilizing the universe that they've created. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. Who knows? Only Kevin Feige. But that's what I got to put out there, guys. And going back through here, the other hunters. Okay, so the other hunters were actually minor characters that were strewn throughout Marvel Comics. I have not really done much research on all of those, but with the history that they put inside this story, basically there's a number of different hunters hunting the monsters of the world. And as we learned in this particular show, the monsters themselves are not necessarily evil. There was a good video put out by New Rock Stars. You could check out their YouTube channel. It's pretty damn awesome. But what they were talking about, and they did a deep dive showing screenshots of a lot of the Latin words that were written on the sides of the walls in the show itself. And it showed where one side was talking about killing monsters, one side was talking about saving monsters, and that's where the confusion comes about. Remember, this was like a sort of a mix of a Hunger Games, a Clue, a Battle Royale, just to see who gets the power of the Bloodstone. And the power of the Bloodstone is immense, not exactly connected to the Infinity Stones, but we don't know where these things came from. And we're learning about more mystical elements, more space and cosmic elements that are showing up on Earth. And, after watching the trailer for Wakanda Forever, seeing a lot of this stuff, they got a lot of things to tie together. Oh, now, to answer the question, the only problem with that game is, yeah, that's true. That's true. Now, yeah, exactly. Let's take a look. Boom, boom, boom. Thought Disney was using Hulu. Well, Hulu's got problems, and I think they're going to start selling Hulu. And I think because you're not going to put, if you're going to talk about darker Marvel shows, if you're not going to put Deadpool once it becomes streaming ready on Hulu. So you better get the people on Disney Plus. They got the age gaps, barriers, or age restriction stuff that you can sign in and off on. So that's there on Disney Plus now. So I don't think there's going to be any problems, anything. And I think Hulu is just going to be more for other stuff. I don't think we're going to get too much more original Hulu content. Now, Brian, you're asking about some insight on the new Avatar movie. Now, here goes my thing. Oh, I love the original Avatar movie. Let's deviate some. That was one, when that movie came out on Blu-ray, I bust my tail to go get Avatar. Matter of fact, when you just said that, I think I'm going to go put it in the Blu-ray player after football is over tonight, since I ain't got to wake up early and go to work tomorrow. And just so I can see how beautiful those colors pop and the story itself. You know, some people read into it. It was more about colonization and tearing up the environment. The new one, I'm going to be honest with you. I hope they stick with the theme of the old one. I hope we get a villain as ruthless as the one we had in the original one, being that one sergeant, you know, inside of the thing. I personally, I really, you know, revisiting Pandora is going to be something else. I mean, I can't wait for it to come out. That is definitely me seeing that in the movie theater, getting the full experience, getting the full scope, making all that money. And when we say Avatar, I'm talking Avatar. I'm talking about the blue-skinned people James Cameron movie. I ain't talking about Last Airbender. All right? So it is what it is. Yeah, and they did, Josh. They just did put Deadpool on Disney Plus. I mean, we got that. Okay, you can't watch Space Pokemon. Yo, yo, come on, man. I think we got. Hey, man. I don't care if she blue, green, or just her normal skin tone. Zoe Saldana gets a watch from me every time, man. Oh snap! Is my wife watching? Oh snap! Hey, Gamora, baby, it's Gamora. You know, why is Gamora, as Drax would say. Yo, man, but Avatar, you got to admit, though, Josh, Avatar is a cinematically beautiful film. It is. It is. Special effects is on POINT. Point. But anyway, guys, that's me. I appreciate each and every one of you. We're past our 30-minute mark. That's all we're going to do. Please do me a favor, guys. Let me ask a question. How does this look to you? Is this a lot clearer? I'm trying a new camera and a new connection. I hope this is coming out smooth. I know I'm not the prettiest dude in the world, but I think the camera brings out all the bumps and crevices on my grill that y'all can see. But anyway, hey, I already got 2 volunteers, as we talked about last week, to do a little recording with me. You guys are going to get the email this week, and we still got to figure out if it's going to be open mic or what we're going to talk about. So we're going to figure that out this week. I got the dates that you guys are available. I got the times you guys are available. We're going to rock it out. We're going to do it. We got to do this. This is going to be kind of fun. It's going to be kind of new. And I'm debating whether or not to do it as a live stream or just record it. Just us kind of shooting the gift. So we're going to figure it out. Okay. Anyway. Oh, is the Star Wars Saga's dead? You know what? I still have not finished watching Andor. I am going to go watch. That's a matter of fact, tomorrow's a day. That's what I need to do is watch Andor. I've watched like half the first episode, and then life just starts running in front of me, and it's like, ooh, shiny. Ooh, shiny. But that is not let's say that's not an indicator of it being bad, because I've heard everything but good things about Andor. But what I'm saying is I got a lot of things going on, and I am doing my best to try to figure out how to keep moving forward and keep this thing going, because we got to rock this out. There's no reason why we shouldn't be having fun. Anyway, all right, everybody. Hey, remember, if you can't say anything nice about anybody, don't say it. Send me a DM on Twitter. I'll say it for you. Space Pocahontas. Lover or hater? Oh, now it's time to hit the funky outro music, and I'm going to do what I got to do. Hold on. Let's hit the funky outro music. Oh, always good. Peace, y'all. I'm out of here. You know what comes up next. And you guys do know what come up next, which is me kind of talking. This is like the part of the video where if somebody's watching it as a replay, I'm going to go ahead and say this. There would be a subscribe button right over here. And it took me years to figure out how to do this correctly on camera so I could point towards the right thing. Plus, it's also going to go ahead and show you a couple of different videos that may spark your interest out of my video library. I'm going to show the last video I recorded and something else based off of your search algorithm and all that good stuff. So this is what I want you guys to do. If you haven't already subscribed, okay, please hit the subscription button. If you know anybody that needs to subscribe, because we want to get this crew going. We want to get everybody up in here. We want to have big, bad, bold conversations. And that's how we do it. But anyway, hey, I got my live video game stream for Extra Life coming up. Charity donation. So what I got to do, I got to remember to put the link inside the description. So if you want to go ahead and donate for Children's Miracle Network Hospitals,
charge complete.
Matter of fact, I'm going to do a whole video on it before we even have the live gameplay day. All right, I'm out. Peace. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'm out of here.